Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tiger Field in Sterling for a Thursday afternoon at Tiger Baseball on 105.7 KPMX, online at kpmx.com, as well as on 1010 KSIR and online at ksir.com. I'm Chris Bulbrom. Glad to have you along on this Thursday afternoon. Today, the Sterling Tigers face off against the Brush Beet Diggers for the second time this season. The penultimate Patriot League showdown of the year for the Tigers. Their second to last Patriot League game before the tail end of the season. There's 5 games left on the schedule for Tiger Baseball. They've got Brush here at home today. They've got University at home on Tuesday, a home game on Thursday of next week, a makeup game against Resurrection Christian, which is a non-league game, and then a pair of games at home next Saturday to finish up regular season play. Our pregame show today brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. They're the home team for your home loan with a wide range of consumer banking services. Let Equitable Savings and Loan help you out. They've been doing it since 1954. Today the Tigers at 16-2, 6-1 in Patriot League play. Welcome in the Beet Diggers, who are 9-7, 2-3 in league play this year. Tigers currently sitting third in the Patriot League, but behind Eaton and Brush, or behind Eaton and University, who will be squaring off against one another on Saturday. If University defeats Eaton, that would create a 3-way tie if the Tigers pick up a win over University on Tuesday, which would then create some sort of chaos, and the internet would explode and the universe would implode in on itself, and we'd have to figure out what exactly the tie-break procedures are for a 3-way tie at the top of the Patriot League. As it stands right now in the RPI, Tigers are number 3 behind the aforementioned University and Eaton, and at number 9, the Brush Beet Diggers with a 599 RPI ranking. They're also ranked 9th in the latest Chastinal poll that came in on Monday. Tigers still holding on to that 3 spot in the rankings. So a top 10 showdown between these two teams. Like I said, the second time they've squared off against one another. Tigers got an 8-2 victory over Brush back on the 6th of April. That was the final day of a 2-day, 3-game tournament at Brush. Tigers with that 8-2 victory really kind of got themselves back on track and put together a strong run before losing to Eaton, and then since then it's been all Tigers in the win column. Strasburg, Liberty Common, Resurrection Christian, Estes Park, and Platte Valley. 5 straight wins for the Tigers after falling to Eaton on the 20th of April. That put an end to an 8-game winning streak earlier this year. So Tigers have won 13 of their last 14 ball games. Not counting that loss to Eaton. They're, like I said, 16-2 on the season and 6-1 in Patriot League play. But they really need a University win over Eaton on Saturday to have a chance at that 3-way tie. Meanwhile, the Brush Beet Diggers have had kind of an up-and-down season. It's been a win here, followed by a loss, couple of wins, and then a loss, and a couple of wins, and then a loss. They really haven't gotten any momentum going. They're 4-4, dating back to the 6th of April when they lost to Sterling in that Brush tournament. They picked up wins over Lyman and Platte Valley. That win over Platte Valley, though, a 1-0 win. They were no-hit during that game. They managed to get a win by getting a runner to third, and the throw to third was wide of the bag on a wild pitch, I do believe, or a pass ball. That scored the only run of the ball game. So they ended up winning against Platte Valley 1-0 without the benefit of a hit. Lost to University 11-1. Beat Estes Park barely 8-7. Losses to Valley in 8 innings, 6-5. A loss to Eaton 14-0, and then an 8-1 win over Bennett on the 30th of April. So it really has been a roller coaster ride of late for the Brush Beet Diggers. Tigers, of course, riding that 5-game winning streak. They picked up their 6th Mercy Rule win of the season on Monday in that doubleheader against Platte Valley, winning 10-0. They also defeated Estes Park 8-0 to open up that doubleheader. So it's been a strong run lately for the Tigers. In fact, of their 6 Mercy Rule wins, 3 of them came within the past week. 15-2 last Tuesday against Strasburg, 14-4 against Liberty Common last Thursday, the 10-0 win against Platte Valley on Monday. So 3 of their 6 Mercy Rule wins have come within the last week for the Sterling Tigers. Our key to the game brought to you by Transwest Chevrolet Buick. If you need a new vehicle for your family, new or used, your hometown dealership has the easy and convenient buying experience for you at 1200 West Main in Sterling, online at transwestchevroletbuick.com. For me, the key for the Tigers today lies in the right arm of Daniel Thiessen. He's going to get the start for the Tigers. We'll talk about our starting pitching matchup momentarily. But for me, Daniel Thiessen is the key for the Tigers today. He's got to come out. He's got to throw strikes. He's got to establish a rhythm on the hill. And boy, has he got to limit the free passes. That has been what has killed him so far this season. Not a bad season for Danny when you start to look at some of the ancillary numbers. Obviously, the 6.58 ERA is not great, but the 29 free passes, 15 walks, 14 hit batsmen. That is way too many base runners getting on without the benefit of a hit. Tigers have got to play clean defensively behind Danny, and he's got to go out there and pound the strike zone for the Tigers to be successful today. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll meet our starting lineups, and we'll have first pitch from Tiger Field in Sterling as the Tigers get set to take on the Brush Beet Diggers right here on 105.7 KPMX, KPMX.com, 1010 KSIR, and KSIR.com. Welcome back to Tiger Field in Sterling on 105.7 KPMX and 1010 KSIR. I'm Chris Bullbrom. Glad to have you along for a Thursday afternoon of Tiger baseball as the Sterling Tigers get set to take on the Brush Beet Diggers. Let's meet our starting lineups presented by Coontz Pump and Well Supply. Your water system's an important part of your operation, so make sure it's performing at its peak. Call 970-522-2305. Offensively, for first-year head coach Tom Odell, the Brush Beet Diggers will line up like this. Carson Rule, the center fielder, will lead things off. Braxton Shelton will bat second and play second. Nick Wellen will be at shortstop batting third. Ben Garrett, the third baseman, will be in the cleanup spot. Alejandro Maltos Garcia, or Hondo, will be on the hill and will bat fifth. Bryson Woldridge, the pitcher, will bat sixth. Cesar Hinojos, the catcher, will bat seventh. Eli Garcilaso will be in right field and bat eighth. And Kyle Wellen, the other Wellen, will be in left field and will bat ninth. For the Tigers defensively, Daniel Thiessen on the hill being caught by Drew Book. Dustin Ferguson is at first. Dylan Diorio at second. Trevor Rauch is at third. Caden Sheets at shortstop. Brock Burkholder in left. Chris Sherbarth at center. And Grayson Dudley is in right field for the Tigers today. Stepping in to start things off for the Beet Diggers, Carson Rule, the right-handed batter against the right-hander Daniel Thiessen. And the first pitch from Daniel Thiessen is a breaking ball in the dirt for ball one. Our first pitch brought to you by Bailey Mechanical. Call 970-522-0471. Get in touch with your local Lennox dealer for a perfect night's sleep. That's Bailey Mechanical in Sterling. The 1-0 pitch fouled off, out of play. Down the first base side by Rule. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carson Rule will step in, bringing with him a .267 average on the year. 59 degrees and overcast at the start of today's game. Thiessen peers over the glove for the sign, nods, winds, and delivers, and misses outside and a shade low. 2 balls and a strike on Carson Rule. Just .267 the average for Rule, but the on-base percentage of .421, so he's still finding his way on as he lofts one down the right field line. Long run for Grayson Dudley, but it'll hook foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Just a brief, light shower here in Sterling right before the start of today's game. Like I said, those clouds overhead have darkened the sky, but not much of a threat for anything in terms of major storms this afternoon. Should be able to get this one in with no trouble. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Carson Rule starting at the top of the first inning, and the 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Rule busted inside on that one from Daniel Thiessen. First strikeout of the ball game for Thiessen. First out recorded here in the first, and that'll bring Braxton Shelton to the plate. Shelton will step in with a .532 average, which is second best in the Patriot League this season. He's got 25 hits in 47 at-bats. That's outstanding. Pitch, a breaking ball on the inside corner for a called strike to Shelton. In addition to those 25 hits, he's also driven in 14. He's got 8 doubles, a triple, and a home run on the year. 0-1 pitch is fouled off the plate. Caught a piece of Drew Book, the catcher, on its way back. No balls and 2 strikes on Shelton with nobody on and no score here in the top of the first. Thiessen waiting for Shelton to dig back in. Now he settles into that right-handed batter's box. Tiger starter into his motion, the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Blew the fastball by him away. Shelton late on that swing. 2 up, 2 down on a pair of strikeouts by Daniel Thiessen. And that'll bring to the plate Nick Wellen. Wellen at the shortstop, hitting .407 on the season with 13 RBIs, 6 doubles, and a home run on the year. Big, thick shortstop. First pitch. Breaking ball drops in to the bottom of the zone at the knees on the outer edge for a called strike. Tigers straight away and deep. The 0-1 pitch just inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Trevor Roush well off the line at third. Same for Ferguson over at first. The 1-1 pitch from Thiessen, slow breaking ball, just missed away. Well and able to lay off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Thiessen. 2-1 offering to Wellen, a chopper foul, third baseline. Count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the first inning brought to you by Western Engineering Consultants. Engineering and consulting services for all of your projects. Strong commitment to their clients sets them apart. Get your project started the right way with Western Engineering Consultants. The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball just inside. Tried to drop that hook on the inside corner. Buckled the knees to Wellen, but he was able to lay off. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on in a scoreless ball game here in the top of the first. Thiessen with the payoff pitch. That one sprayed foul right side, never threatened to be in play. Still 3-2 on Thiessen, who's, as we mentioned, had a roller coaster season on the hill. He's looked dominant at times like he had to the first 2 batters today, and then looks lost at times on the hill. The payoff pitch one more time. There's a chopper foul, third base side. Back-to-back foul balls off the bat of Nick Wellen with 2 strikes, trying to keep this at-bat alive until he can get something he can handle from Daniel Thiessen. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 3-2 offering from Thiessen is way outside, ball 4. Give credit to Nick Wellen. He was able to battle off a couple of tough pitches and draws the 2-out walk. He's aboard for Ben Garrett, the third baseman and cleanup hitter for the Beat Diggers today. We're sporting their white tops with gold and maroon trim up the side, up underneath the sleeves. Maroon numbers, gold trim on the front and back. First pitch to Garrett. Drops in there for a called strike. Off-speed offering from Thiessen to get ahead, 0-1. Garrett, .298 average. Driven in 13, 4 doubles and a home run this year. 4 home runs as a team for the Beat Diggers. Pitch in the dirt, good sliding stop. Drew Book moving into the left-handed batter's box to knock that one down. 1 ball and 1 strike on Ben Garrett. Nick Wellen, the runner at first. Takes off on the pitch, and it's fouled off right side by Garrett. 1 ball and 2 strikes, back to first goes Nick Wellen. Wellen on at first with 4 stolen bases on the year. 49 steals on the campaign for the Beat Diggers as a whole. Tigers, meanwhile, with 92 stolen bases as a team. Wellen inching off of first. 1-2 the count as Thiessen kicks and fires, and it's fought off foul by Garrett as he just gets the head of the bat on that one and fouls it back to the screen. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on for the Beat Diggers in a scoreless ball game here in the top of the first, just underway from Tiger Field. Runner takes off again on the 1-2, and again, for the 15th time this season, Daniel Thiessen loses the handle on a breaking ball inside and plunks Ben Garrett in the back. 15 walks, now 16 walks with the walk issued to Nick Wellen in this inning, and 15 hit batsmen this year for Daniel Thiessen. Alejandro Maltos Garcia at the plate. Breaking ball by Thiessen again doesn't break, up around the helmet of Hondo as he drops to the dirt around home plate to avoid getting plunked. 1-0 pitch, up and in with a fastball now, 2-0. So Thiessen with 2 quick strikeouts to start the inning has lost his command to the last 2 batters. It's turned into a 23-pitch inning already for Thiessen. The 2-0 pitch. Hondo will pop it over the screen and out of play. 2 balls and a strike on Maltos Garcia. Still scoreless, but the B-Diggers threatening here in the top of the first. A walk and a hit batsman with 2 away. The 2-1 pitch misses down low. 3-1 the count on Maltos Garcia, who has a .293 average this season with 7 runs batted in. The 3-1, Maltos Garcia will foul it off. Right side over the first base dugout, now to play. And again, a full count on a B-Digger batter. Second time this inning. Thiessen's gone full against a hitter. The last time he issued the walk to Nick Wellen. Runners take off on the 3-2, and it's in the dirt, ball 4. And with 2 outs, Daniel Thiessen has loaded the bases with a pair of walks and a hit batsman. And we're going to get a courtesy runner at first for the pitcher Maltos Garcia, as Caden Schwint will come in to run at first for Hondo. A walk to Nick Wellen, a hit batsman for Ben Garrett, and a walk to Alejandro Maltos Garcia, who's been replaced at first by Caden Schwint. 3 straight have reached with 2 outs here in the top of the first after a pair of quick punch-outs by Daniel Thiessen. Command has been the biggest bugaboo this year for Danny Thiessen. Trying to work out of his own self-induced jam right now. First pitch to Bryson Wooldridge is on the outside corner at the knees for a called strike. Wooldridge hitting 171 on the year, has struggled at times at the plate. Watches a fastball away, 1 ball and 1 strike. That being said, the on-base percentage at .271, so still trying to find ways aboard even when he's not been able to pick up the hit. The 1-1 pitch is fouled off the end of the bat, and it will again hook out of play. B-Diggers have played pepper with North 7th Avenue to the west of the ballpark here in this first inning with foul balls. 1-2 the count. 2 outs, bases loaded. The pitch down and away in the dirt, overthrew that fastball to Danny Thiessen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right now, B-Diggers not offering at anything close because Danny's been unable to command the strike zone to the last 3 hitters. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Got Wooldridge to chase the fastball away. 3 strikeouts in the inning, but also a pair of walks and a hit batsman. B-Diggers leave the bases loaded. Tiger bats next on 105.7 KPMX and 1010 KSIR. No score, bottom of the first inning from Tiger Field in Sterling. The Sterling Tigers bringing to the plate Dustin Ferguson, Caden Sheets, and Daniel Thiessen to start the ball game. Chris Sherbarth will bat 4th. Drew Buck will hit 5th. Grayson Dudley will bat 6th. Dylan Santamasso, the DH for the left fielder. Brock Burkholder will bat 7th. Trevor Roush hitting 8th, and Dylan Diorio will bat 9th. The starting defensive alignment for the B-Diggers today brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Mobile banking on the go makes banking easier for you when you're on the go. Check them out today at equitable-savings.com. Alejandro Maltos Garcia on the hill. Cesar and Hinojos behind the plate. Bryson Wooldridge is at first. Braxton Shelton at second. Ben Garrett at third. Nick Wellen at shortstop. Kyle Wellen is in left field. Carson Rule in center field. And Eli Garcilazo is in right field. Dustin Ferguson, the left-handed hitting first baseman for the Tigers, will step in, but prior to that, a stoppage of play as the home plate umpire will head over towards the B-Digger dugout and have a conversation with the head coach, Tom Oldle. Not entirely sure what that's all about. Looks like whatever it was, they've taken care of. So we're good to go here in the bottom of inning number 1. Hondo's first pitch to Dustin Ferguson is in the dirt for ball 1. Here's what you're going to find in today's game. You've got a couple of starting pitchers who struggle with command at times. 1-0 pitch in the dirt. 2-0 the count on Ferguson, who will find his way on base more often than not. The Tigers center fielder slash first baseman reaching base at a .592 clip. Just shy of 60% of the time, Dustin Ferguson finds his way on base. 2-0 the count on the McPherson commit. The 2-0 in the dirt. 3-0 on Ferguson to start the bottom of the first inning. Our starting pitching matchup presented by Northeastern. If you're looking to become a full-time student at NJC, check out their upcoming Discovery Day, May 22nd. Call the Office of Admissions, 521-7000, or go to njc.edu. The 3-0 pitch is a fastball right down Broadway for a called strike. 3-1 the count on Dustin Ferguson. Maltos Garcia 0-1 on the year, 7 1/3 innings of work, 10 runs given up, a .955 ERA. 3-1 pitch is swung on and chopped slowly to first. Wooldridge with the underhand grab, the scoop and the toss to Maltos Garcia covering the bag. Dustin Ferguson will bail out the starter Maltos Garcia with a ground out to first on the 3-1 putout. Caden Sheets steps to the plate with nobody on and 1 away. 9 hits, 11 walks, and 12 strikeouts in 7 1/3 innings for Maltos Garcia. Finds the knees across the heart of the plate to Sheets. 0-1 on Caden. Sheets steps in, bringing with him a .407 batting average. Pitch to Sheets, fouled over the screen and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Tigers as a team hitting .358 on the year. .460 team on base percentage, and like we talked about earlier, 92 stolen bases as a squad. The 0-2 pitch, up and in with a fastball, 1-2 on Sheets. Daniel Thiessen, the other starter today for the Tigers, 2-2 the record for Danny. 22 1/3 innings of work, a .658 ERA, 22 hits, 15 walks, 14 hit batsmen, and 25 strikeouts. Breaking ball doesn't from Maltos Garcia as he tried to get on top of that hook and missed well up and out of the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Caden Sheets. 1 out, nobody on, no score, bottom of the first inning. The 2-2 pitch to Sheets. He'll drive it down the right field line, but it will just end up foul as that one sliced off the end of the bat of Caden Sheets. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sheets back to the plate to retrieve the bat.
Okay, so here's, it's kind of like this, but I
Maltos Garcia. Another 2-2 offering, breaking ball, called strike 3 into the top of the zone. Caden didn't agree, but he'll turn around and jog back to the dugout, down looking for the second out of the inning. Thiessen got a pair of strikeouts to start the top of the first and then walked 2 and hit a batter to load the bases. We'll see if offensively if he can start a 2-out rally for the Tigers in the bottom of the first. Scoreless thus far. A ground out and a strikeout for Hondo as he kicks and fires and misses down and away. 1-0 the count to Thiessen. Danny, .365 the batting average this season. 14 runs batted in, 4 doubles. The 1-0 pitch, breaking ball, again doesn't, stays high. 2 balls and no strikes on Daniel Thiessen. Danny needed 32 pitches to get through the top half of the inning, despite getting a pair of quick strikeouts to start the ball game. The 2-0 pitch, off the end of the bat, driven out to right field, back down the line. If it stays fair, it's trouble, but it will just hook foul. Thiessen got every bit of that one, but unfortunately couldn't keep it between the white lines, just off the end of the bat, and because he was just a shade late on that offering, couldn't quite keep it from going foul. Back to the plate, 2 balls and a strike the count. Maltos Garcia rests his hand on his hip as he gets the sign, and then time called at the plate by Thiessen. Danny now digs back in. Hondo peers in to get the sign from Cesar Hinojos. Has the one he wants. Kicks and delivers. The 2-1 is wasted foul. Again right side. It goes off the screen, ricochets into the hands of Chris Sherbarth, who makes the grab from the on-deck circle. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on in a scoreless ball game. Bottom of the first inning. Thiessen choking up on the bat with 2 strikes. Widens that stance a little more and gets down in that crouch. Hondo gets the sign and sets the 2-2 offering. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Daniel Thiessen. Back-to-back punch-outs for Alejandro Maltos Garcia. Tigers go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. We're scoreless after 1 on 105.7 KPMX and 1010 KSIR. Top of the second inning, no score from Tiger Field in Sterling. Cesar Hinojos, Eli Garcilaso, and Kyle Wellen, 7, 8, and 9 for the Beat Diggers against the right-hander Daniel Thiessen in this second frame. Like we talked about, Thiessen got off to a solid start, struck out the first 2 Beat Diggers, Carson Rule and Braxton Shelton, but then a walk to Nick Wellen. He hit Ben Garrett in the back and walked Alejandro Maltos Garcia to load the bases with 2 outs before getting the strikeout of Bryson Woldridge to end the frame. 32 pitches in the first inning for Daniel Thiessen. 18 of those for strikes. He's really going to have to settle down and command the strike zone if this team's going to be successful here today. Top of the second, brought to you by Buildings by Design. When it comes to experience, Buildings by Design is the best in the business. Quality, commitment, and experience makes Buildings by Design the only choice when it comes to your next project. First pitch to Cesar Hinojos is in tight for ball 1. Hinojos, a right-handed batter against the right-hander Thiessen. Hinojos still looking for his first hit of the year. 1-0 is a chopper back towards the mound third base side, scooped up by Thiessen. The throw over in time. Good work by Daniel Thiessen, who's worked on his PFPs recently. Second inning in a row that Thiessen has been able to retire the leadoff hitter. Eli Garcilaso, the right fielder, will step in. 250 average for Eli this year. Slightly open stance from the right side against Thiessen, who pours a fastball in at the knees for a called strike to get ahead 0-1. Infield back with 1 away and nobody on in a scoreless ball game here in the top of the second. Pitch misses down around the shoot tops of Garcilaso. 1 ball in, 1 strike. Thiessen puts the glove up around the face before settling into his motion. He gets a half-hearted swing from Garcilaso on a fastball down to get ahead 1-2. Danny rests that glove right around the belt as he gets the sign from Drew Book, working from the first base corner of the rubber. The 1-2 pitch, a little cue shot off the end of the bat down the first base line. It'll stay fair as it hops over the bag. It'll be fielded by Dustin Ferguson, who goes to a knee and steps on the bag himself for the 3 unassisted on the ground out down the line. Second inning in a row that Daniel Thiessen's been able to set down the first 2 hitters in the inning. We'll see if he can make this a 1-2-3 frame. Kyle Wellen, the left fielder, will step in. Kyle with a .471 average this year. 3 runs batted in, just a handful of ball games, 17 at-bats for Wellen this season. He does have a double to his credit. First pitch in there for a called strike from Thiessen, 0-1. Danny works quickly, Nods, winds, delivers the 0-1 off the end of the bat on one hop. Short hop for Ferguson, goes to a knee, scoops it up again and takes it himself. It'll turn into a 1-2-3 inning thanks to a couple of ground outs to the first baseman, Dustin Ferguson. We're scoreless heading to the bottom of the second from Tiger Field in Sterling on 105.7 KPMX and 1010 KSIR.
Sterling Tiger Athletics on 105.7 KPMX.
5 seconds left.
No score, bottom of inning number 2 from Tiger Field in Sterling. I'm Chris Buldrum, glad to have you along on 105.7 KPMX and on 1010 KSIR, as well as on the World Wide Web, kpmx.com and ksir.com. Chris Sherbarth will lead things off for the Tigers, the cleanup hitter for Sterling and center fielder today. One of 2 left-handed bats in the order against the right-hander Alejandro Maltos Garcia. Sherbarth, .351 average for the junior. Couple of, one double and 4 triples on the year for Sherbarth. Sneaky pop in that left-handed bat. He's really gotten more selective at the plate over the last handful of ball games. First pitch inside from Maltos Garcia for ball 1. Couple of strikeouts in the first for Hondo. The 1-0 pitch. Rolled back up the middle, off the mound and into center field for a base hit. Chris Sherbarth with a roller through the box and back up the middle for a base hit. Leadoff man aboard for the Tigers. First time today either team's gotten the leadoff man on. I'll bring Drew Book to the plate. Drew having an all-world season this year. .481 average with 29 runs batted in, 6 doubles, and 4 home runs. He hit his 4th on Monday in that doubleheader against Estes Park. Check on first by Maltos Garcia. The high leg kick, swing and a miss as he blew the fastball past Drew. 0-1 the count on Drew Book. Sherbarth good speed at first. Tigers wanted to break their school record of stolen bases in a year as a team, which is 118. They're at 92 right now. Toss over to first. Clouds starting to break overhead. Blue sky starting to show through. A little more sunshine. Sherbarth back in well ahead of the throw. I'm no mathematician, but 118 minus 92 would be 26 stolen bases the Tigers would need to collect between now and next Saturday. Book looking to lay down the bunt. Bunts at foul third base side. No balls and 2 strikes on the Tiger backstop with nobody out and a runner at first. Scoreless ball game thus far in the bottom of the second inning. These 2 teams have played each other close over the years. This is always a quality matchup regardless of how good the teams may be. They always seem to play each other close. Toss over. This time Sherbarth just gets in ahead of the throw. Jeff Squire in his 4th year. He's the head coach of the Tigers down in the third base coaching box. 51-28 his career record. Drew with that closed stance. The 0-2 pitch. He'll pop it up right side behind the first base bag. Right fielder calling everybody off. Ivan Cardenas, the new right fielder, coming in and making the grab on that fly ball to right. Ivan Cardenas. Let's see. Home run. Grayson Dudley at the plate. 1 out, runner at first. Toss over. Sherbarth back in. That's the only change for the Beat Diggers. Ivan Cardenas in right field. Short lead for Sherbarth, now inching back out. A little further this time. A little more. Takes off on the pitch. He got a huge jump. The throw out to second is nowhere near getting Chris Sherbarth, who got an exceptional jump. He was 3 steps from second before the ball came out of the hand of the catcher Hinojos. 1-0 the count on Grayson Dudley. That pitch was out of the zone. Sherbarth away from second. Maltos Garcia, the 1-0 to Grayson. Top of the zone, pulled in by Hinojos. 1 ball and 1 strike. Grayson's been swinging a hot bat over the last couple of weeks. He has been outstanding at the plate. Dudley with a .388 average on the year. 10 runs batted in, 5 doubles and a triple. The 1-1 pitch is a breaking ball that drops into the zone. Maltos Garcia able to find the handle on that 12-6 curveball that drops in. 1-2 the count on Dudley. We're still scoreless in the bottom of the second inning. 1 out and a runner in scoring position for the Tigers. They throw in a spin and a throw back to second, and Chris Sherbarth had to crawl his way back into second. He broke back to the bag late and was short on the dive back in, so he had to pull himself up to the bag ahead of the tag from the second baseman, Braxton Shelton. 1-2 the count to Dudley, swinging a foul tip off the plate that then caught him on the front foot and rolled down the third base line. Still a 1-2 count on the Tiger right fielder. Sterling in their home black jerseys with the word Tigers in cursive across the front and orange. Orange numbers with white outlines on the front and back of the jersey and orange trim across the shoulder and down the sides of the shirt. White pants with the black piping down the leg. Another 1-2 offering on the way from Maltos Garcia, who kicks and fires, and it's rolled off the end of the bat towards second, picked up by Shelton. The throw to first is in time to get Dudley. Moving on the play was Sherbarth, so he ends up at third on the ground out by Grayson Dudley. And it brings to the plate Dylan Sanamaso. Dylan also a very hot hitter at the plate, a .414 average for the Tigers senior, and was now his 10th ball game back from an elbow injury that cost him the first part of the year. Still can't play defensively, but he can swing the bat. He watches one on the outside corner from Maltos Garcia for strike 1. Dylan with that .414 average, 12 hits, 12 runs batted in, 2 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs. He has hit safely in 8 of his 9 games back and has reached safely in every game. 1-1 the count on Sanamaso as he watched a fastball up out of the zone. Maltos Garcia comes set. The 1-1 pitch to Dylan is a breaking ball. This time he can't get it to settle into the top end of the zone. 2-1 the count. One of these days, the Tigers aren't going to lay off that high curveball, and it's going to sit in the top of that zone, and the Tigers are going to hammer it. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, chasing the high fastball, and tardy on it was Sanamaso, 2-2. No score, bottom of the second. Tigers threatening with a runner at third, but 2 outs in the inning. Hondo gets the sign from Hinojos. The 2-2 to Sanamaso, swing and a miss. Couldn't catch up to a fastball down around the shins. Down goes Sanamaso for the third out. Tigers strand a runner at third after the leadoff single by Chris Sherbarth. We're scoreless after 2 innings of work on 105.7 KPMX and on 1010 KSIR. Top of the third inning, Tigers and Beet Diggers all squared at 0. The Brush Beet Diggers will have the top of their order due up against Daniel Thiessen here in the third. Carson Rule struck out swinging his first time up, and he takes one up around the ear hole for ball 1. Fill up your cooler, gas up your car at Stubbs Gas and Oil. Easy and convenient. Make them the only stop you need on your way to the big game. The 1-0 pitch, outside and low. 2 balls and no strikes on Rule. 42 pitches now for Daniel Thiessen. 24 of those for strikes. Righty kicks, fires, fastball outside corner, paints the edge, gets the strike, 2-1. Check swing from Rule, but he was able to hold off, didn't matter. Thiessen into his motion. A 2-1 pitch, down and away with that fastball. 3-1 the count. After this game, the Tigers will have just one more Patriot League game left. That'll be on Tuesday against University. Brush, meanwhile, will have games against Liberty Common, Resurrection Christian, and Strasburg as Rule fouls one down the third baseline to push the count full 3-2. That Strasburg game, the last game of the regular season, on the 11th of May. Now Liberty Common on the 4th and Resurrection Christian on the 7th for the Beat Diggers. And we're going to pull everybody off the field because I believe there was a lightning strike in the area. That's exactly what the case may be. Yep, we've got a lightning strike within the vicinity of the ball field. So as a result, we've got to pull everybody off the field for a mandatory delay, and we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll recap where we're at and see what we can do about old Mother Nature's interference into our ball game. So a weather delay currently with a lightning strike near the area of Sterling Tigers Field, Tiger Field here in Sterling. We'll be back after a 3-minute break on 105.7 KPMX and 1010 KSIR. Welcome back to Tiger Field in Sterling on 105.7 KPMX and on 1010 KSIR on the web as well at KSIR.com and KPMX.com. In a weather delay at Tiger Field right now, B&B Appliance can help you with all of your appliance needs. Stop in and see what they can do for you. Check them out on Inside Street in Fort Morgan. Currently squared and nothing in the top of the third inning, and Carson Rule, the leadoff hitter for the Beat Diggers, was at the plate when there was a lightning strike within the vicinity of Tiger Field. That prompted the immediate removal of all players on the field, and of course the mandatory wait for the weather to clear out of the area. Once the lightning is passed and we can verify that it has been cleared, we'll be able to get everybody back on the field. It's typical Colorado weather. You look at the field itself, if you're just looking out the window of the press box right now, it's blue skies, few clouds overhead, and a sun-drenched field in front of us. But behind us is a batch of storm clouds with some lightning in them, and they're close enough to Tiger Field to prompt the weather delay and get everybody off the field until it passes. We did have some clouds overhead and some rain right before the start of the game. Never really rained all that hard. Didn't look very threatening at all, but it's that time of year. Well, welcome to springtime in northeast Colorado. Random showers and thunderstorms and just enough interference from Mother Nature to make things complicated. You look at the field right now, like I said, and you're thinking, why are we out there playing? It's absolutely gorgeous outside. Well, if you look behind us, it's less than gorgeous. Obviously, the head coaches and the umpires keeping an eye on things. They'll keep track of this weather and make sure that it's out of the way before they take to the field once again. Tigers and Beat Diggers scoreless thus far. It's been an interesting game. We knew that going into this one, you were going to have two guys on the hill that battle command at time. Daniel Thiessen has really struggled to throw strikes consistently all season long, and we've seen that play out already here today. Alejandro Maltos Garcia, another young man who has had issues with command over the course of the season. He has been very solid thus far. He's kept the Tigers in check. Well, 1-2-3 in the first inning. Gave up a single to Chris Sherbart starting the second inning, but was able to strand him at second thanks to a couple of strikeouts in that second inning. We'll run through the numbers for both of these starters here momentarily. For the Tigers starter Daniel Thiessen, 2 innings of work, no runs given up on no hits, couple of walks, and a hit batsman. He loaded the bases in the top of the first inning after getting a pair of strikeouts, and then was eventually able to work out of it. Meanwhile, for Alejandro Maltos Garcia, the freshman right-hander for the Beat Diggers, so I wait for my iPad to catch up with me. 2 innings of work. He's given up no runs on just 1 hit, has not walked a batter, and has struck out 3 in the early going, a couple of groundouts and a flyout on the hill for Maltos Garcia. No runs, no hits, no errors, 3 left on for Sterling. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on for the Tigers. We mentioned the rough first inning for Daniel Thiessen. Got 2 quick strikeouts and then walked Nick Wellen, hit Ben Garrett in the back, and walked Alejandro Maltos Garcia before getting Bryson Woolridge to strike out. Then he was able to set down the bottom third of the order in order. Cesar Hinojosa, Eli Garcilaso, and Kyle Wellen set down 1, 2, 3 in the top of the second inning. But where we find ourselves right now is in the top of the third. Nobody out, nobody on, and a 3-2 count on Carson Rule, who had just fouled off a pitch right before that lightning strike that got everybody off the field. Take another 3-minute break. We'll try to check on the length of this delay and determine our next move from there. Tigers and Beat Diggers tied at 0. Top of the third inning. We're in a weather delay for lightning in the area in Sterling. 3-minute break and then more when we come back on 105.7 KPMX and 1010 KSIR. And just like that, we're ready to get back underway. Tiger baseball back on the field. Tigers and Beat Diggers. The lightning is past. We're good to go. So we're back and ready from Tiger Field in Sterling. Carson Rule back in the box with a 3-2 count against Daniel Thiessen. And the 3-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Carson was not ready for that one. A half-hearted swing on that 3-2 pitch. He's down swinging for the second time today. And the 4th strikeout of the day for Daniel Thiessen. So a brief weather delay, a little bit of a lightning strike near our location here at Tiger Field. That has since passed. Looks like it's going to go off to the northeast of us. Hopefully that's the only delay we have today. Braxton Shelton at the plate with 1 out, nobody on. Scoreless ball game. Top of the second inning. First pitch from Thiessen on the outside corner at the knees. Good spot there. 0-1 the count. Morgan Community College is there to make your dreams become a reality for both traditional and non-traditional students. Check them out online at morgancc.edu. The 0-1 offering from Thiessen is a slow roller to third on 2 hops to Trevor Roush. Sets, throws in time to retire Braxton Shelton for the second out of the inning. 2 up, 2 down in the second. That'll bring Nick Wellen to the plate. Wellen walked his first time up. Deja vu for Thiessen as he was able to get the first 2 outs of the first inning against Rule and Shelton, and then walked well in to start a stretch of 3 straight reaching for the Beat Diggers. Pitch on the outside corner at the knees for a called strike, 0-1. A few clouds have started to roll back in overhead, so not quite as sun-drenched as it was moments ago. Clouds are okay, lightning no. The 0-1 pitch, chopper to third, and it's olayed by Trevor Roush. He didn't get down on it. Went off his glove in between his legs, so an error on the third baseman Roush, who's usually as sure-handed as they come, will allow Nick Wellen to reach for the second inning in a row with 2 outs, or second inning today with 2 outs. Wellen on at first, Garrett at the plate. Ben Garrett hit by a pitch his last time up. Thiessen's first pitch just inside with the fastball, 1-0. Trevor Roush even with the bag at third, but well off the line. Ferguson holding the runner, Wellen on at first. Runner takes off, pitches outside. The throw down to second is on time, but a little off the bag, and sliding in under the tag is Nick Wellen. A stolen base for Nick Wellen. He's on in scoring position now with 2 outs and a 2-0 count on Ben Garrett. Pitch slide back up the middle on 1 hop to Thiessen, who gloves it, tosses it underhand to first after taking it about halfway himself. And that'll do it for the Beat Diggers in the third. They get a runner to second but can't score. No score heading to the bottom of the third on 105.7 KPMX and 1010 KSIR. Scoreless ball game, bottom of the third inning. The Tigers will have Trevor Roush, Dylan DiOrio, and Dustin Ferguson. 8-9-1. Due up against Hondo Maltos Garcia here in the bottom of the third inning. Altos Garcia has been outstanding through the first couple of frames. Has given up just the one hit, a seeing eye single back up the middle by Chris Sherbarth. Sherbarth would steal second and be moved to third on a ground out and will be left stranded there in the second. Trevor Roush getting his first opportunity of the day. The sophomore bringing to the plate a .345 average. He's played all over the field for Sterling this season. First pitch to Roush is high and a touch inside, 1-0. Getting the start at third today. He's played quite a bit at second. They've used him in left field. He's also done a heck of a job on the hill when called upon this season. The 1-0 pitch to Roush in the dirt, back to the screen. 2-0 they count. We'll see how well Hondo bounces back from that lengthy delay in the dugout, well, with the weather delay and all. For a guy who battles his command at times, you don't want to get out of a rhythm, and he was certainly in a rhythm when the lightning struck. The 2-0 pitch near the outside corner for a called strike, 2-1. Garrett coming in a couple of steps now, even with the bag at third. The 2-1 pitch from Altos Garcia, that one spiked at the plate. 3 balls and a strike. Waiting on deck, the freshman Dylan DiOrio, starting to find his form at the plate. Altos Garcia ready. The righty's 3-1 pitch to Roush, popped up. Right side of the infield, right around the first baseline. Altos Garcia into foul territory. Will handle the deed himself as he grabs that pop fly and retires Trevor Roush for the first out of the inning. Dylan DiOrio will step to the plate. DiOrio with a .125 average. He's 2 for 16 on the year. Couple of runs batted in. Got his first hit of the season on Saturday against Resurrection Christian. First pitch to Dylan's inside. Nearly caught him in the front shoulder. He was able to turn away just in time. 1-0 the count on Dylan DiOrio. Also has been used in a variety of spots defensively, primarily at second and in left field. The 1-0 pitch, that one's lined over the leaping attempt to Ben Garrett and into left field for a base hit. Dylan DiOrio starting to build some confidence at the plate. He is hitting his last 3 starts. He's on with 1 out, and Dustin Ferguson will step to the plate. Ferguson grounded out to first, back in the first. No score. Bottom of the third inning. Couple of hits for the Tigers today. Now the sun pops back out behind the clouds and shines down upon Tiger Field in Sterling. A toss over to first as DiOrio scrambling back in. Ben Garrett a step and a half off the grass at third. Expecting some small ball from the Tigers with 1 out. First pitch to Ferguson is below the knees for ball 1. Oldridge at first, Shelton at second, Garrett at third, Wellen at short defensively for the Beat Diggers. Oldridge holding the runner on at first. DiOrio, short lead for Dylan. The 1-0 pitch is high, goes off the glove of Hinojos and back to the screen. DiOrio hustling to second, takes a huge turn and then will hop back towards the bag. Pass ball gets past Hinojos and will allow DiOrio to reach second. Runners in scoring position with 1 out for the Tigers. Looking to break this scoreless tie. Couple of checks from Altos Garcia. Now Hondo delivers the 1-1 pitch. Ferguson inside out swing, lofts it down the left field line. Long run for the left fielder. He lays out and he cannot make the grab, but they'll say it was in foul territory. A foul ball called by the home plate umpire, and head coach Jeff Squires going to come out and have a conversation as he leaves the third base coaching box and comes down the line, meets him halfway. And I think his point is that Kyle Wellen was laid out in fair territory when he made contact with that ball on the chalk line. Kyle Wellen broke his glasses on that dive. Just a foul ball, a long strike. Looked like that thing was going to drop just inside no man's land. Jeff Squire can't win his appeal. Back to second goes DiOrio. Back into the box, Ferguson. 2-1 the count on Dusty. Nick Wellen, the shortstop, holding DiOrio close to the bag. Breaking ball, misses inside and maybe a hair low. 3 balls and a strike on Dustin Ferguson. Hondo peers in to get the sign from Cesar. Nods and sets. 3 checks towards second. Now the 3-1 pitch, and there's another slow roller to first. It's picked up by Wooldridge. He'll toss it underhand to Hondo covering the bag. The 3-1 put out moves DiOrio to third, but with 2 outs. Twice in this ball game, Dustin Ferguson has grounded out to the first baseman. Caden Sheets will try to do some damage with 2 outs. See if he can get the Tigers on the scoreboard here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Nothing thus far. Sheets struck out swinging his first time up, fouls one back to the screen as he was off balance on that offering from Maltos Garcia. Sheets with 16 runs batted in on the year. He'd love to make it 17 here and give his team the lead. 0-1. Maltos Garcia fires a breaking ball. Tried to set that one into the top of the zone, something he's done all day long, and he couldn't get the call this time as he hopped around on one leg on his follow-through, trying to convince the home plate umpire to give him the call. 1-1 the count. Hondo fires. Little flare over the first baseman into right field for a base hit. DiOrio will score from third. It's an RBI single off the end of the bat of Caden Sheets. Didn't hit it hard, but hit him where they ain't. And he gives the Tigers a 1-0 advantage. First run of the ball game brought to you by First National Bank in Fleming. First place you should go to make sure your banking needs are taken care of. Your teammate for financial assistance, that's First National Bank in Fleming. Member FDIC. Sheets away from first. Daniel Thiessen at the plate. He struck out swinging his first time up. Watches a curveball in the dirt. That kicks off Hinojos. Good read by Sheets. He'll move up to second on the wild pitch. Another runner in scoring position for the Tigers, who again continue to try to be super aggressive on the base paths. Force teams to make plays or force teams out of their comfort zone. 1-0 Tigers, bottom of the 3rd. Maltos Garcia checks on Sheets a couple of times. Now the 1-0 to Thiessen way outside, 2-0. Hondo dropped to the ground and slammed his glove in disgust after giving up that base hit to Caden Sheets. Now needs to find a way to settle down. Get the last out for the Beat Diggers. The 2-0 pitch to Thiessen. He got a fastball down the middle of the plate and fouls it back to the screen. He was just late on that one, worked up underneath it.
Get on it here, get him in here.
2 balls and a strike on Daniel Thiessen. 2 outs in the inning. Tigers up by 1 here in the bottom of the 3rd. Caden Sheets, the runner out at second. Garcia, long look in, now gets the sign, checks the runner, fires, breaking ball, fouled off the plate. Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chris Sherbarth waiting on deck.
Let's go, drive it.
Hondo rests that glove on the front hip to get the sign from Hinojos. Now sets, glove at the chest. The 2-2 pitch to Thiessen is a fastball high up around the brim of the helmet. 3-2 the count on Thiessen now. Sunshine now starting to play a role as Ben Garrett has to shield his eyes down at third. Clouds have started to clear out. Check out the second, the payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Thiessen chasing one down and away. He's down on strikes for the second time today. But the Tigers get a run on an RBI single from Caden Sheets. They lead it 1-0 after 3 on 105.7 KPMX and 1010 KSIR. 1-0 Tigers, top of the fourth inning from Tiger Field in Sterling on 105.7 KPMX Sterling and on 1010 KSIR Brush for Morgan. The Sterling Tigers will send Danny Thiessen back out there for his fourth inning of work. He has dealt with some traffic over the first couple of innings, but really done a good job of keeping the Beat Diggers in check. In fact, the 4 base runners left on by Brush have all reached via the free pass. 2 walks, a hit batsman, and an error. No hits given up through the first 3 innings by Thiessen. A run on 3 hits, 1 error by the Tigers. They've left 2 on. The starting pitcher for the Beat Diggers, Hondo Maltos Garcia, will be the first one at the plate in this 4th inning for Brush. Will be followed by Bryson Woldridge and Cesar Hinojos, 5, 6, and 7 for the Beat Diggers. Things happen in life. Make sure you're prepared with the right insurance coverage. Ingmar Phillips Insurance in Brush and Fort Morgan. Brief weather delay earlier due to lightning in the area, but nothing since. Thiessen's first pitch to Maltos Garcia is fouled over the screen to get ahead 0-1. Maltos Garcia walked his first time up. A couple of very young squads doing battle here today. A lot of freshmen and sophomores for both of these teams. The 0-1 off the fist, right side, foul territory, long run for Dustin Ferguson, but he'll run out of room as he runs into the batting cages down the first base line. That ball sailing out of play. 0-2 the count on Maltos Garcia, who's back at the plate. Tom Odell down in the third base coaching box, directing his hitter at the plate. The 0-2 offering way outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Odell again in his first year as the head coach of the Beat Diggers, a 9-7 record, longtime head coach of Brush softball. Pulling double duty. The 1-2 pitch, popped up, shallow right field. Grayson Dudley hustling in, calls everybody off and makes the grab for out number 1. 1 away and nobody on for Bryson Woldridge. Woldridge struck out swinging his first time up with the bases loaded back in the first inning. Again, Thiessen got 2 quick strikeouts in the first, then a walk, a hit batsman, and another walk. Loaded the bases with 2 down, and he finally got Woldridge to strike out to end the inning. 1-0 Tigers in the top of the 4th. Pitch on the inside, off the inside edge. 1-0 the count. 58 pitches for Thiessen thus far. Righty delivers inside and maybe a hair low. 2 balls and no strikes on Woldridge. Thiessen, 2-0, delivered on the outside corner for a called strike. Didn't matter that Woldridge tried to check his swing. It was a strike all the way. 2-1 the count. Thiessen winds and delivers and misses up and away. 3-1. 5 Patriot League teams in the top 10 of the latest Chasanow rankings that came out on Monday. University, Eden, Sterling Res, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Brush just inside the top 10 at number 9. The 3-1 pitch. Woldridge leans on one, drives it out to deep center field. Long run for Shermarth. It's over his head. He lays out. He can't make the grab. Off the base of the fence. The throwback in from center. The relay to third. Woldridge slides in just ahead of the throw. Bryson Woldridge, a one-out triple off the center field fence. He gave that ball a ride. A little back foot power from Bryson Woldridge. He got that over the head of Chris Sherbarth to straightaway center, and he stands at third, representing the tying run for the Beat Diggers with one out in the top of the fourth. Brings Cesar Hinojos, the catcher, to the plate. He grounded out to the pitcher his first time up, and he'll line one over to second. Diorio with the glove. The throwback to third, not in time to get Woldridge, who read it well. But a great read off the bat by Dylan Diorio as he snags the line drive from Hinojos, and it keeps Bryson Woldridge at third, now with 2 outs. Ivan Cardenas at the plate. Came in defensively a couple of innings ago for Eli Garcilaso. Cardenas watches one miss outside, or on the outside corner, for a called strike. 0-1 pitch is a fastball away this time. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cardenas, a freshman, hitting .429. He's 6 for 14 this year. 4 runs batted in with a double amongst those 6 hits. The 1-1 pitch, down and away. 2 balls and a strike with 2 outs and a runner at third. First hit of the ball game for the Beat Diggers, that 1-out triple by Bryson Woldridge. Decent looking for an out here to keep this a 1-0 Tiger lead. He drops one on the inside corner to Cardenas to make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. Woldridge off the bag at third. Thiessen's 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him with the cheese up under the hands. Ivan Cardenas down swinging for the 3rd out of the 4th inning. Tigers able to hold that tying run at third. 1-0 Sterling, heading to the bottom of the 4th on 105.7 KPMX and 1010 KSIR. 1-0 Tigers, bottom of the 4th inning. Alejandro Maltos Garcia finishing up his warm-up tosses to Cesar Hinojos. Beat Diggers had the tying run at third in the top half of the inning, but couldn't score. Chris Sherbarth, Drew Book, Grayson Dudley, 4, 5, and 6 for the Tigers, looking to build upon their 1-0 advantage. See what over a century of customer service can do for you at High Plains Bank in Wiggins, offering a wide variety of banking products to cover a wide variety of banking needs, including agriculture and personal loans. That's High Plains Bank in Wiggins. Chris Sherbarth singled up the middle his last time up. One of just 3 hits for the Tigers so far today. Maltos Garcia with a slow curveball in on the outside edge for a called strike to Sherbarth. That overhand 12-6 curveball has been a weapon for Maltos Garcia today. The 0-1. Sherbarth will turn and drive one deep to right field, pushing back Cardenas, but he'll make it back in time to make the grab for out number 1. Sherbarth turned on that one and pulled it to right, but not quite enough on it as Cardenas got a great read on that break back to make the grab. Drew Book to the plate. He flew out to the second baseman in short right field his first time up. First pitch to Drew, swing and a miss. Chase one down around the shins for strike 1. Sterling up 1-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Their second to last Patriot League game of the season. Maltos Garcia, the 0-1 pitch outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tigers swept a doubleheader against a pair of Patriot League teams on Monday, defeating Estes Park 8-0 in Game 1, Platte Valley 10-0 in Game 2. The 1-1 pitch, there's that curve, and again, Book over the top with the swing, 1-2. Nobody on, 1 out. 1-2 the count. Maltos Garcia works from the stretch exclusively with nobody on, and he drops the curve in there to Drew. Caught looking for the second out of the inning. 2 away and nobody on for Grayson Dudley. Tigers cannot seem to read that curveball out of the hands of Maltos Garcia right now. They hold a 1-0 advantage despite being held to just 3 hits. Grayson Dudley at the plate, grounded out to second his first time up, swings and misses. Fastball running down and away. Dudley reaching for that one. Maltos Garcia. The 0-1 pitch is a fastball up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's the Tiger right fielder. Infield is back. The 1-1 offering in the dirt. Grayson able to lay off. 2 balls and a strike on Grayson Dudley. Pair of freshmen making up the battery for the Beat Diggers today. Maltos Garcia on the hill. Cesar Hinojos behind the plate. Maltos Garcia, the 2-1 offering to Dudley way outside. 3 balls and a strike to Grayson Dudley with 2 outs and nobody on. Trevor Roush waiting on, Dylan Sanamaso waiting on deck for the Tigers. The 3-1 pitch, Grayson cues it off the plate. It'll roll down the first baseline, foul. Picked up on the bare hand by Maltos Garcia, who tried to chuck it underhand from behind his back to first, but the ball was well foul at the time. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. 1-0 Tigers. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Tiger Field in Sterling had a brief weather delay earlier due to a lightning strike in the area. A few clouds overhead, but right now no threat of any impending weather. Looks like everything storm-wise going to move north and east of Sterling. The payoff pitch to Grayson Dudley is a breaking ball in the dirt. He'll watch it through and take first on the 2-out walk. First walk, I do believe, issued by Maltos Garcia today. Bring Dylan Sanamaso to the plate. That is the first walk surrendered by Hondo today to go along with his 3 hits. He's also struck out 5. Sanamaso struck out swinging his first time up. Toss over. Dudley back in with the dive. If things continue to go this way, Dylan's maybe looking at his last plate appearance of the ball game. Would need to find his way on to keep his streak alive. He watches a breaking ball called a strike on the inside corner. That curveball looked like it was well below the knees when it crossed the plate. 0-1 the count. That's Dylan's argument as he turns around in disgust and then walks up the line momentarily. 0-1. Hondo sets, fires, runner takes off. The throw not in time to get Grayson Dudley. The pitch outside to Sanamaso. 1 ball and 1 strike and a stolen base for Grayson. Puts him in scoring position with 2 outs. Now if Dylan can find a base hit, a chance to make this a 2-0 Tiger lead. For Grayson, stolen base number 15 this season. Swing and a miss on the 1-1. 1-2. Tigers, a couple of stolen bases in the ball game. Hondo checks on Dudley dancing around second. The pitch delivered and it's drilled out towards right. A high fly ball for Cardenas and a collision between Cardenas and Carson Rule, and it's Rule who makes the catch. The center fielder runs into his own right fielder making the grab. Either way, Dylan Sanamaso's retired and the Tigers strand a runner at second. They lead at 1-0 after 4. On 105.7 KPMX and 1010 KSIR. 1-0 ball game, top of the 5th inning from Tiger Field in Sterling on 105.7 KPMX and on 1010 KSIR. Glad to have both listener bases along as the Tigers and the Beat Diggers square off here at Tiger Field in Sterling. A Patriot League showdown for these two teams. Tigers defeated Brush earlier this year in a non-league game, 8-2. Not quite that kind of offense here today. Daniel Thiessen and Alejandro Maltos Garcia have practically matched each other pitch for pitch. Kyle Wellen, the 9-hole hitter for the Beat Diggers, will step in against Daniel Thiessen, and the first pitch is a fastball on the outer edge for a called strike. Welling grounded out to first, his first time up. The 0-1 offering, swing and a miss down around the plate, and Welling over the top, 0-2. Both pitchers mid-60s, high 60s for their pitch count right now. This is number 71 for Daniel Thiessen, and it's in the dirt and back to the screen. 1-2 the count on Welling, 67 for Maltos Garcia. One and two the count as Thiessen gets the sign from Book. Winds, fires, misses high, evens the count 2-2. 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, a hit batsman, and 5 strikeouts for Thiessen today. The 2-2 offering off the end of the bat, foul, first base side. Still squared at 2-2. Meanwhile, for Maltos Garcia, 4 innings of work, 1 run given up on 3 hits, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Another 2-2 pitch forthcoming from Daniel Thiessen, and it's high for ball 3. Kyle Wellen, who swung and missed watched the first pitch for a strike, swung and missed at the second pitch, has managed to work the count back full, 3-2. The payoff pitch coming back. See ya! Called strike 3 on the outside corner. A fastball gets Kyle Wellen looking for the first out of the 5th inning. Brings Carson Rule to the plate, back to the top of the order for the Beat Diggers. Rule made the grab in right center field to end the bottom of the 4th inning. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts against Thiessen. First pitch is a fastball outside edge at the knees for a called strike. Six strikeouts on the day for Thiessen. Right-hander, the 0-1 offering. Fastball high, check, swing. The appeal, yes, he did go, says the field umpire, 0-2. Rule tried to hold back on that high fastball, could not. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nobody on, top of the 5th, 1-0 Tigers. The 0-2 pitch is a chopper back up the middle, and it'll find its way into center field. A ground ball with eyes off the bat of Carson Rule. A 1-out single for the Beat Diggers. That'll bring Braxton Shelton to the plate. Shelton 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. That single just the second hit allowed by Daniel Thiessen thus far. Gave up a triple last inning to Bryson Woldridge, but was able to get a line out and a strikeout to end the inning without any additional damage or a strikeout and a flyout. First pitch inside to Braxton Shelton. 1-0 the count. Thiessen, whose command has been better out of the windup than the stretch today. 1-0 offering is high and tight, 2-0. Doesn't quite have that same command of his fastball or his curveball working out of the stretch. Big Junior looks through to get the sign. The 2-0 pitch to Shelton is outside, 3-0. Would expect the leash to be progressively shorter as this afternoon goes along for Daniel Thiessen in a 1-0 ball game that the Tigers need to have. Sterling needs a win today, needs University to defeat Eaton on Saturday. The 3-0 pitch, runner takes off. The throw down to second doesn't matter, it's ball 4. So a seeing eye single and a walk, 2 on, 1 out, and Jeff Squire is going to come up out of the dugout and head out towards the hill. I would imagine we may see the end of the day for Daniel Thiessen. The infield will gather on the hill as well. So far, no indication of a pitching change, just a conversation between Jeff Squire and his infield, along with his starting pitcher. Maybe a discussion of strategy. If there's a double steal attempt by the Beat Diggers, do you go to get the out at third? Do you throw through to second? Try to get the trail runner. Carson Rule, good speed at second. Braxton Shelton runs well at first. 1 out in the inning. Tigers a ground ball away from getting out of this frame. But again, the Beat Diggers threatening with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. 1-0 Sterling leads. Mentioned the Tigers need a win today and the University win on Saturday. That would put all 3 teams at the top of the Patriot League at 1 loss in league play. Sterling losing to Eaton. If University can defeat Eaton, then it would be University, Eaton, and Sterling, or I guess University would still be undefeated in league play. That ball is driven deep to left field towards the corner, and it is foul. Oh boy. Tom Odell can't believe it. He thought that thing was gone. It was down the line the whole way. And it just snuck outside the left field foul pole, says the home plate umpire. Whew. A deep breath for the Tiger faithful as Nick Wellen nearly gave the Beat Diggers a 3-1 lead. Instead, it's a long strike, 0-1, and a turn and look from Thiessen. The throw back to second, and just in ahead of the tag, Carson Rule, who was caught leaning out at second. He just scrambled back in time. Dylan Diorio was late covering the bag, and that gave Rule just enough time to scramble back in. The 0-1 pitch in the dirt, knocked down by Drew. The throw down to third with the runner moving, and it's in time to get Carson Rule. I don't think he expected Drew Book to scoop that thing out of the dirt the way he did. Drew, with an exceptional sliding stop, popped up, fired a strike to Trevor Roush covering the bag. Carson Rule down at third for the second out. Tigers getting some work done defensively to bail out their pitcher. Staying at first is Braxton Shelton. Now Dustin Ferguson will move over and hold the runner on at first. Thiessen, the 1-1 pitch to Nick Wellen, down and away. 2 balls and a strike on Nick, who's walked and reached on an error in this ball game. 1-0 Sterling, top of the 5th inning. Pitch outside, 3-1 on Wellen. Likely be the last inning for Thiessen if he can tightrope out of danger once again. May have caught a break on that foul ball to left. The 3-1 pitch in there at the knees for a called strike, 3-2. We don't have the best angle down the line here, but sure looked like that thing may have been fair. The 3-2 pitch, a slow chopper to first, picked up by Ferguson. He'll step on the bag, and again, Daniel Thiessen dons the tights and tight ropes his way out of danger. A runner left on, a home run missed by 2 inches. 1-0 Tigers heading to the bottom of the 5th on 105.7 KPMX. 1-0 Tigers lead, bottom of the 5th inning. Once again, the Beat Diggers trying to claw their way across the scoreboard, and again, the Tigers find a way to keep them off said scoreboard. Alejandro Maltos Garcia will get Trevor Roush, Dylan Diorio, and Dustin Ferguson 8, 9, and 1 for Sterling here in the bottom of the 5th. Get delicious treats, breakfast, or lunch to make the day better at Willow Coffee and Bake Shop on Edison Street in Brush. First pitch in the dirt from Maltos Garcia to Trevor Roush for ball one. Trevor flew out his first time up.
Number 3, Trevor Roush.
Maltos Garcia gets the sign. The 1-0 offering to Roush is a fastball high. 2 balls and no strikes. 88 pitches for Daniel Thiessen to get through 5. 69 pitches at this point for Hondo. Hondo, the 2-0 pitch, misses down and in. 3-0, they count on Trevor Roush to start the bottom of the 5th inning. Crowd still buzzing about the almost home run off the bat of Nick Wellen. Would have given the Beat Diggers a 3-1 lead. Instead, Daniel Thiessen able to get out of the inning and keep this a 1-0 ball game. The 3-0 pitch nowhere near the zone. It's high, ball 4. So Roush reaches on the leadoff walk. And Dylan DiOrio will be pinch hit for as Chase Hume will come to the plate. Chase will likely stay in the ball game defensively, as I will imagine we'll see a pitching change in the top of the 6th. Hume, 8 for 30 on the year. Back pick down to first, not in time to get Roush. Pitch, I believe, was in the dirt for ball 1. Hume, very good bunter. Toss over to first. Back in safely is Roush. Chris Sherbarth warming up in the pen for the Tigers. So he'll likely be coming in to throw, which would move Dylan DiOrio to the outfield. Chase Hume lays the bump out back to the mound, picked up by Maltos Garcia. The throw nearly takes Wooldridge off the bag. He has to transition into foul territory to make the grab. Good footwork by Bryson Wooldridge over at first to get the out. Chase Hume, the successful sacrifice, will move
Dustin Ferguson.
the runner to second with 1 out and bring Dustin Ferguson to the plate. Fergie's had a rough go of it, a couple of soft ground balls to first. Maltos Garcia kicks and fires. Bunt shown by Ferguson. He watches it in the dirt for ball 1. Sherbarth come in, get the last 6 outs of this ball game and get some work in, because he will likely be the starter on Tuesday when the Tigers welcome in University for perhaps the biggest game of the season. Roush, huge lead out at second. The 1-0 pitch outside to Ferguson, 2-0. Fergie's worked ahead in the count each of his first 2 trips to the plate, but has ended up grounding out to first both instances. 2-0 the count, 1-0 Tigers, bottom of the 5th inning. Maltos Garcia, long look out to second, then another, checks one more time, and then he'll spin out, nobody covering the bag. Time was called at the plate by Dustin Ferguson. Roush trying to get inside the head of Hondo. Maltos Garcia trying to bear down and keep this a 1-0 ball game for the Beat Diggers. Maltos Garcia will again spin and look Roush back to second, and again nobody covering the bag. No runs on 2 hits for Brush, 1 run on 3 hits for Sterling. 9 base runners left on between the 2 teams. The 2-0 pitch in the dirt gets through the 5-hole of Hinojos and goes off the base of the screen. That wild pitch will allow Trevor Roush to move up to third. And that wild pitch right there was the direct result of Trevor Roush and his antics out at second base. He got into the head of Alejandro Maltos Garcia. And now the Beat Diggers will bring the infield in with 1 out and a runner at third. The 3-0 pitch to Ferguson is right down the heart of the plate to get the strike, 3-1. We'll see if Fergie takes a pitch here on 3-1, make Hondo throw 2 in a row. Maltos Garcia checks on the runner at third. The 3-1 pitch to Ferguson is inside, ball 4. Ferguson, who grounded out to first on 3-1 pitches each of his first 2 at-bats, thought about firing at that 3-1 pitch and instead took it inside just off the belt buckle. Runners at the corners, 1 out. The guy who's got the only run batted in at the plate, Caden Sheets, the shortstop, an RBI single for the Tigers his last time up. He's 1 for 2. A chance to stretch this to a 2-0 lead with a base hit here. Double play depth up the middle for the Beat Diggers. Toss over to first. Back in safely is Ferguson. Roush, the runner at third. Ferguson on at first. Runner starts, then stops. Sheets pops it up. Out towards straightaway center field. Carson Rule coming under, makes the grab. Roush will tag and come to the plate. The throw's on line. The tag is not in time. As Alejandro Maltos Garcia appeals at the plate, Ferguson around second, heads to third, then the throw gets away down the line. He'll come home and score. A 2-base sac fly for Ferguson. He scores on the throwing error by Cesar Hinojos. And the Tigers have made this a 3-0 ball game. So a sacrifice fly off the bat of Caden Sheets. An exceptional slide at the plate by Trevor Roush as he got underneath the tag of Cesar Hinojos. The throw was on time and it was on line. A great throw by Carson Rule. But Trevor Roush just got up underneath the tag. Dustin Ferguson never broke stride, ended up at third, and the throw from Hinojos went down the third base line. Ferguson popped up and was able to move home on the throwing error. Daniel Thiessen at the plate with nobody home, or with nobody on, nobody home, whatever the case may be. First pitch to Thiessen, up and in for ball 1. Tigers' aggressive base running approach finally pays dividends here in the bottom of the 5th inning as they've made it a 3-0 ball game. The 2-0 pitch misses, or the 1-0 pitch, misses high. Now 2-0.
You don't want to drive it, Daniel.
Maltos Garcia. The 2-0 pitch to Thiessen. At the knees for a called strike. 2-1. Colorado Plains Medical Center has experienced physicians and a highly trained surgical team trained in the latest surgical procedures. Explore what procedures are possible in your hometown at CPMC. 3-0 Sterling. 2-1 pitch to Thiessen is a fastball high up around the letters. 3-1. Tigers with a win would move to 7-1 in Patriot League play. A University win over Eaton would give the Tigers an opportunity to force a 3-way tie if they can defeat University next Tuesday. Pitch fouled off by Thiessen to run the count full, 3-2. Brush coming into today's game, sitting at 7th in the Patriot League, 9-7 overall, 2-3 in league play. They've still got a handful of Patriot League games left. The 3-2 pitch in the dirt gets away from Hinojos. Thiessen hustling down to first, draws the walk. Thought about maybe stretching it to 2, but Hinojos hustles and gets to that one. It brings Chris Sherbart to the plate. Will likely enter in as the pitcher in the top of the 6th inning. Trying to get the last 6 outs and pick up the save for the Tigers. Thiessen off of first. A fly out and a single for Sherbart today. And now the home plate umpire is going to go have a conversation with Tom Odell. I'm not sure what the conversation's about. It's a pretty animated conversation. So they're going to say it was a strikeout and a wild pitch. Either way, he reaches with 2 outs. So 1 on, 2 outs. So instead of a walk to Thiessen, it's a strikeout and a wild pitch. Either way, a runner on at first. Sherbarth at the plate. The pitch. Check swing by Thiessen, or by Sherbarth, and it got away from Hinojos. He can't find the ball. Thiessen will go first to third. Hinojos never saw where the ball ended up, and by the time he finally discovered it, Thiessen able to get all the way around on the wild pitch. Yeah, Hinojos, once that ball hit the dirt and scooted towards the first base dugout, he had no clue where that thing had disappeared to. As far as he knew, it went down a rabbit hole somewhere. 0-1 the count on Sherbarth. The pitch from Maltos Garcia is high. 1 ball and 1 strike. The wheels have fallen off defensively for the Beat Diggers in this 6th inning. A couple of runs in by the Tigers without the benefit of a hit. Pitch to Sherbarth, popped up the shaft, right around shortstop. Nick Wellen battling the high sky will make the grab, and that'll retire Chris Sherbarth for the 3rd out of the inning. But a couple of runs scored by the Tigers thanks to a sac fly and an error on the catcher Hinojos. Tigers up 3-0 after 6 on 105.7 KPMX and 1010 KSIR. 3-0 Sterling over Brush here on the top of inning number 6, and a new pitcher on the hill for the Tigers as Chris Sherbarth will take over and be asked to get the last 6 outs, pick up the 2-inning save for Sterling. For Sherbarth this season, 4-0 the record. This will be his 10th appearance of the season. 6 of those 10 appearances have been starts. 40 1/3 innings of work for Sherbarth. A sparkling 2.43 ERA. His last time out, he went 6 innings, got no decision against Resurrection Christian on Saturday. 34 hits, 14 walks, 37 strikeouts for Sherbarth in 40 1/3 innings of work so far this season. Head coach Jeff Squire thinks they've got his mechanical issues straightened out, or unstraightened out, because that was his problem, is things were just a little too straight over that stretch where he just didn't quite have the same stuff that we saw earlier in the year. He'll get Ben Garrett, Alejandro Maltos Garcia, and Bryson Wooldridge. 4, 5, and 6 for the Beat Diggers here in the 6th. Ben Garrett 0 for 1 today, fouls the first pitch off for strike 1. The 0-1 breaking ball misses the outside corner, in and out of the glove of Drew Book. 1 ball and 1 strike. Garrett hit by a pitch his first time up, grounded out his last time at the plate. Sherbarth got the win against Brush back on the 6th of April. The 1-1 pitch in the dirt, 2 balls and a strike, despite the fact that Brush got 10 hits against Sherbarth. Sterling able to pick up the 8-2 victory. The 2-1 pitch, way outside, 3-1 on Garrett, who's had some success against Sherbarth the last couple of seasons. Chris, the 3-1, way outside, ball 4. So Chris Sherbarth comes out of the pen and walks the first batter he faces on 5 pitches. Ben Garrett down to first, and Hondo Maltos Garcia to the plate. I believe we're going to get a pinch runner down at first for Ben Garrett. Coach Tom Odell brings out the lineup card to have a conversation with the home plate umpire. We'll see who the runner is. Nobody's popped out of that Brush dugout yet. Well, now there's a runner. Keegan Link will take over for the Beat Diggers at first. The sophomore getting an opportunity as the pinch runner for Ben Garrett. Toss over by Sherbarth to keep Link close to the bag. First pitch to Maltos Garcia, fooled badly on that breaking ball, swings and misses for strike one. Maltos Garcia walking a fly out today. Sherbarth checks on Link over at first. Maltos Garcia shows bunt, lays it down in front of the plate. Now say foul ball. The home plate umpire is going to say Drew picked it up in foul territory behind the plate. So strike two on Maltos Garcia. Caden Sheets covering the bag at second. Drew Book was going to try to get the force out at second. Unfortunately, doesn't have that opportunity, but it's a 2-strike count on Hondo. Sherbarth kicks and fires, popped up foul over the screen. Still no balls and 2 strikes. See if Maltos Garcia gets lifted in the bottom of the 6th inning. He's 88 pitches into this ball game. See if they ask him to go the distance. Sherbarth, another 0-2 pitch. See ya! Called strike 3 on the inside corner. A delayed call from the home plate umpire. Down looking is Maltos Garcia for the first out of the inning. Runner remains at first with 1 down. Bryson Woldridge to the plate. Woldridge struck out swinging his first time up and hit a booming double to center field his last time up, or a booming triple to center field. Over the head of Chris Sherbarth, who was playing in center defensively, swing and a miss on a fastball running up and away for strike 1. Sherbarth gets such great running action on that fastball when his mechanics are right. Toss over to first. Just in ahead of the throw is Keegan Link. Leadoff man on a walk. Ben Garrett replaced at first by the pinch runner Keegan Link. 1 out. 3-0 Tigers. Top of the 6th inning. The 0-1 to Woldridge is popped up behind the first base bag. Foul territory. Backpedaling is Daniel Thiessen, and he will make the grab for out number 2. 2 down now. Remaining at first is Link, and that'll bring to the plate the catcher Cesar Hinojos. Hinojos, a line drive to second his last time up. He's 0 for 2 today. Sherbarth getting some work in here. Will likely be the starter on Tuesday for the Tigers when they welcome in University. First pitch to Hinojos is a roller to third. Backhand stop by Roush near the bag. Throw to first in plenty of time. And the Tigers again keep the Bee Diggers off the board despite traffic on the base paths. 3-0 Sterling heading to the bottom of the 6th on 105.7 KPMX and 1010 KSIR. Bottom of the 6th inning, Tigers lead the Bee Diggers 3-0 from Tiger Field in Sterling on 105.7 KPMX and on 1010 KSIR. Brush for Morgan. Alejandro Maltos Garcia will stay out there to face the Tigers in the bottom of the 6th inning. Hondo with 88 pitches on the day has gone the distance thus far. Honestly, it was the Bee Digger defense that let down their starter in the bottom of the 5th inning. With runners at the corners, Caden Sheets lifted a shallow fly ball to center field. And Trevor Roush came in to score on a sac fly just underneath the tag of the catcher Hinojos on a heck of a throw from Carson Rule. Dustin Ferguson, who was at first, never broke stride, was digging for third, and the throw from Hinojos to third went down the line and allowed Ferguson to come in and score. That made it a 3-0 ball game. Drew Book to start the inning against Maltos Garcia will pop one foul over the screen and out of play. 0-1 the count on Drew. 5 innings of work, 3 runs given up, only 2 earned for Hondo. 3 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. 4 wild pitches, however, and a pass ball today by Hinojos. Fortunately, you've got a freshman on the hill and a freshman behind the plate. It's tough when your battery's made up of guys in their first year of varsity baseball. Wind picks up momentarily, a little dust devil blowing across the second base bag area. That gets knocked down. We had a brief rain shower right before the start of the game. Had a lightning delay momentarily as we get another dust devil that pops up around the first base bag. And finally moves out of the way. No balls and a strike on Drew Book to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. Drew 0 for 2, a flyout and a strikeout. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. High fastball from Hondo. Blew it past Drew, 0-2. 90 pitches for Maltos Garcia. Hondo gets a sign from Hinojos. The 0-2 to Drew in the dirt. Skips away. Ball 1, strike 2 on number 22, Drew Book. Grayson Dudley in the on-deck circle will retrieve the baseball. Hondo with the 1-2 pitch. Another curveball again in the dirt, knocked down by Cesar Hinojos. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Starting at the bottom of the 6th inning, Tigers their 3rd trip through the order against Maltos Garcia. They're looking for some insurance runs in this 6th inning. The Beat Diggers looking to keep this a 3-0 ball game. Pitch swung in a foul tip. In and out of the glove of Hinojos. Drew just got about a lace and a half of that baseball and fouled it back. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Maltos Garcia kicks and fires. Breaking ball, swing and a miss this time. In the dirt, picked up by Cesar. The throw to first is in time to get Drew on the 2-3 putout. 7th strikeout of the ball game for Alejandro Maltos Garcia. 1 out, nobody on for Grayson Dudley. He's grounded out and walked today as Grayson. Tip your cap to Hondo. He's done a heck of a job today for the Beat Diggers. Fortunately, he's on the wrong end of a 3-0 score. Tigers have managed to scratch across 3 runs over the first 5 2/3 innings. Maltos Garcia, the pitch on the outside corner to Dudley at the belt. No balls and a strike on the Tiger right fielder. Brush will be back in action on the 4th, which is Saturday against Liberty Common at home. Then on the road next Tuesday against Resurrection Christian. Pitch in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. Their last league matchup for the Beat Diggers is on the 11th of May against Strasburg at Sunset Field in Brush. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 3-0 Sterling, bottom of the 6th inning. The 1-1, Dudley swings and misses. He was way out in front of that one. 1-2, looked like a changeup there from Maltos Garcia. Tigers, meanwhile, will be at home against University on Tuesday, at home against Resurrection Christian on Thursday, and then a doubleheader here at home next Saturday, the 11th, against Liberty Common and Bishop Matchbuff. Both of those games non-league games. The 1-2 pitch, a roller back up the middle and into center field. A base hit for Grayson Dudley as he gets his first hit of the day. And that'll bring Dylan Santamasso to the plate. Dylan, who has reached safely in all 9 ball games since coming back from that elbow injury, has been kept off the base paths thus far. 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. Dudley, short lead at first, being held on by Woodridge. The first pitch up and in to Santamasso for ball 1. Dylan has also hit safely in 8 of the 9 games back, including a double, a triple, and a home run this season. A couple of home runs and a couple of doubles. We want to be accurate. 1-0 pitch, driven down the right field line. That one's going to drop and roll all the way into the corner. Dylan Sanamaso digging for two. Grayson Dudley around third. The throw to the plate takes a high bounce and goes over the catcher Hinojosa and back to the screen. Sanamaso digging for third, and he'll move up on the play. That ball hit a divot in front of home plate and shot about 5 feet in the air off the relay throw to the plate. It'll be an RBI double for Dylan Sanamaso, and then an error allows him to move up to third. Tigers have made it a 4-0 ball game. And Dylan has reached safely in all 10 ball games this season, and he has hit in 9 of 10 ball games. Tom Odell out of the dugout. He'll take the ball from Alejandro Maltos Garcia, who on his 100th pitch of the ball game served up that RBI double. He'll depart on the wrong end of a 4-0 ball game. We'll take a 60-second break and sort through the pitching change when we come back. Tigers up 4-0. New pitcher for the Beat Diggers when we come back on 105.7 KPMX and 1010 KSIR. Welcome back to Tiger Field in Sterling. A pitching change for the Beat Diggers, and this brunch pitching change is brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, Greg Mullen and his team are there to make the insurance world easy for you. Call them today at 842-4555. The freshman, Caden Moriarty, making his second appearance of the season. Moriarty, no record on the year. A 3.50 ERA in just 2 innings of work. He's given up a couple of runs, 1 earned on 3 hits and 1 walk. No strikeouts for the freshman right-hander. Runner at third. The pinch runner for Dylan Sanamaso
Number 3, Trevor Rausch.
is Brock Burkholder. Trevor Rausch at the plate. Rausch came in to score the second run of the ball game for the Tigers on a sac fly off the bat of Caden Sheets his last time up. He reached via the walk. 0 for 1 today is Rausch with the fly out and the walk. So Moriarty will face Trevor Rausch with 1 out and a runner at third. The infield is in for the Beat Diggers. Sun has popped back out here at Tiger Field. Moriarty, deep crouch out of the stretch. First pitch in the dirt, knocked down by Hinojosa. 1-0 the count on Trevor. Jeff Squire giving coaching advice to Brock Burkholder on third as he takes his lead. 4-0 Tigers, bottom of the 6th inning. The 1-0 pitch popped up. Foul territory behind first base. Long run for Bryson Woldridge. He can't chase it down. Woldridge hoping to make that over-the-shoulder basket catch, but unfortunately couldn't quite catch up to that one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Sterling has tacked on a run here in the 6th to make it a 4-0 ball game. Moriarty for the Beat Diggers hoping to keep it a 4-0 game, see if his offense can come to life in the top of the 7th. The 1-1 pitch, Rausch again inside out swing, lofts it down the right field line towards no man land. Long run for the second baseman. Braxton Shelton lays out in foul ground and cannot hold on to the baseball. So another foul ball off the bat of Trevor Rausch. That one again headed to the Bermuda Triangle of baseball. Down the right field line. Braxton Shelton had the best angle on it. The second baseman got his glove on it on that sliding basket catch, but when he hit the turf, the ball popped out. 1-2 the count on Rausch. The 1-2 to Rausch. Fastball high, check swing, no swing, says the field umpire on appeal. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Talked about it, 2 very young teams on the field today. Rush and Sterling both sporting a ton of freshmen and sophomores. The 2-2 pitch. Rausch again lifts one to right. Shallow right for Ivan Cardenas. He'll come in a couple of steps, makes the grab, fires a rocket to the plate. to keep Brock Burkholder standing at third. 2 outs in the inning. Burkholder remains at third, and that'll bring Dylan Diorio back to the plate. He re-entered defensively after he was pinch hit for his last time up. Chase Hume came on to get down a sacrifice bunt, did so successfully. Now Diorio steps back in. He's 1 for 1 today. Moriarty gets the sign and comes set. And time called at the plate by Diorio, who steps back out. Now digs back in. 4-0 Sterling, bottom of the 6th inning. 2 outs, runner at third. Defense back now for the Beat Diggers with 2 away. Moriarty's first pitch is a line drive back up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Brock Burkholder will score an RBI single for Dylan Diorio. He's 2 for 2. And the Tigers have a 5-0 lead. Third run batted into the year for Dylan Diorio. Tigers looking to put this one to bed here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Just about out of reach now at 5-0. Only 3 outs left to work with offensively for the Beat Diggers. Moriarty's first pitch all over the outside corner for a called strike to Ferguson. Fergie, a couple of ground outs and a walk today. He's gotten ahead 3-1 all 3 times at the plate. 2 ground outs on 3-1 pitches to first base. Now he's ahead 2-0 as that one's in the dirt and gets away from Hinojos. Moving up to second is Diorio on the wild pitch. Sorry, 1 ball and 1 strike. My mistake. I said it was 2-0. It's 1-1. Moriarty checks on Diorio. The 1-1 pitch is a ball high and out of the zone. 2-1. Dustin Ferguson started the game at first base defensively, shifted to center field when Chris Sherbarth came on to pitch the top of the 6th. Three checks out to second for Moriarty. The pitch outside. 3 balls and a strike. So for the 4th time today, Dustin Ferguson has a 3-1 count to work with. First 2 times ended in ground outs to first. The 3rd time ended in a walk. We'll see if he evens up that trend. Moriarty's 3-1 pitch is driven to center field on a line, but right at Carson Rule, who makes the grab. And the Tigers are retired in the bottom of the 6th, 5-0 Sterling as we head to the 7th. 105.7 KPMX and 1010 KSIR. New pitcher on the hill for the Sterling Tigers, up 5-0 here in the top of the 7th inning on 105.7 KPMX and on 1010 KSIR. Chris Sherbarth will go back out to center field where he was to start the game defensively. Dustin Ferguson moves over to left, and the new pitcher for Sterling is number 2, Logan Bowler. Bowler, the sophomore, 3-0 the record, 8 appearances for Logan. 18 innings of work, 13 hits, 9 walks, 20 strikeouts, and a lovely 1.94 ERA. He came in to pitch the last couple of innings against Resurrection Christian on Saturday, and in relief picked up the win against the Cougars in 8 innings. Tigers winning that ball game 6-5. This is his 9th appearance of the season. He'll get Ivan Cardenas, Kyle Wellen, and Carson Rule, 8, 9, and 1 in the Beat Digger lineup here in the top of the 7th. Sterling up 5-0, 3 outs away from their 6th win in a row, and a season sweep of the Beat Diggers. First pitch in tight to Cardenas for ball 1. He struck out swinging his first time up.
Windy here too.
Bowler, the 1-0 is a fastball up and away. 2 balls and a strike on Cardenas. Tigers at home the rest of the way. They'll be hosting University, Resurrection Christian, Liberty Common, and Bishop Moshbuff to finish up the year. The 2-0 pitch. Cardenas pops it up the shaft. Right side of the infield. Dylan Diorio at second base battles the breeze that's picked up and stays with it to make the grab, angling towards the first base bag for the first out of the 7th inning. After today, Brush will be at home against Liberty Common. On the road against Resurrection Christian, they've got a pair against Eagle Ridge Academy at Brush on the 9th, at Kent Denver on the 10th, and at home against Strasburg on the 11th. So a busy slate of games for Brush, who had several games rescheduled due to the weather. Kyle Wellen, first pitch he sees, pops it up to short. Caden Sheets underneath to make the grab. 2 up, 2 down quickly here in the top of the 7th. Tigers an out away from picking up the victory. Top of the order, Carson Rule. The center fielder, a single his last time up, and a pair of strikeouts on the record for Rule today. Righty-righty matchup as Bowler winds and fires, and that one's driven out to center field. Back goes Sherbarth. Sends his hands out as he calls everybody off, makes the grab, and 1, 2, 3 go the Beat Diggers in the top of the 7th. Tigers with their 6th straight win. They down the Beat Diggers 5-0 from Tiger Field in Sterling. Post-game show when we come back on 105.7 KPMX and 1010 KSIR. Welcome back to Tiger Field in Sterling. Our final tally in this one, the Tigers down the Beat Diggers 5-0. 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, 5 left on for Sterling. No runs, 2 hits, 2 errors, 7 left aboard for the Beat Diggers. Our post-game show brought to you by Cargill Meat Solutions, providing well-paying positions to skilled workers in the community. Learn more at cargill.com with their online-only application process. Tiger pitching was solid, if not spectacular in this one. The offense late blooming, but able to come away with the win late. Alejandro Maltos Garcia got the start for the Beat Diggers and pitched his tail off. Unfortunately, his offense couldn't bring the bats along with him to help bail out their young starter. He ends up taking the loss for Brush. Daniel Thiessen gets the win for Sterling. For Thiessen today, he goes 5 innings, gives up no runs on just 2 hits, walked 3, struck out 6, hit a batter, and got 6 groundouts and just 2 flyouts. Meanwhile, Chris Sherbarth an inning of work in relief. No hits, no runs, a walk, and a strikeout. Logan Bowler a 1-2-3 7th inning as he got a trio of flyouts, 2 pop-outs on the infield and a flyout to center field to finish up the ball game. For Brush, we mentioned the loss goes to Hondo Maltos Garcia. 5 1/3 innings of work for Hondo on 100 pitches. Gave up 5 runs, 4 earned on 5 hits, walked 3, struck out 7. Had 4 wild pitches. His defense let him down with an error, a costly error as well. 2/3 of an inning of work for Caden Moriarty. He gave up a hit, but no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Our player of the game today presented by Mr. D's A's Home Center. Animal needs change with the weather. Whatever type of animal you may have, big or small, livestock or domestic, Mr. D's has got you covered. Everything for every member of the family, even the furry ones like me, and Mr. D's in Sterling, Fort Morgan, and Brush. Our player of the game in this one for the Tigers today belongs to Caden Sheets. The sophomore shortstop was 1 for 2 today with a sac fly, drove in a pair, and he really got the job done when needed to. He came through in the clutch, got the Tigers on the board early to make it a 1-0 ball game. He also added the insurance run on the sac fly. Dustin Ferguson would eventually come around to score on that same play to make it a 3-0 ball game. But Caden Sheets giving his team the first couple of runs on the scoreboard, and honestly, that's all they'd need. That RBI single from Sheets back in the 3rd would prove to be the game winner. Again, a look ahead at the schedule on KPMX and KPMX.com. Tigers will be at home against University next Tuesday at 4 p.m., then at home against Rez in a non-league game Thursday at 4 o'clock, and then they'll wrap up the season with a doubleheader Saturday against Liberty Common and Bishop Matchbuff at 10 and 3 respectively. Meanwhile, for the Beat Diggers, their schedule the rest of the way has Liberty Common at home on Tuesday, Resurrection Christian Liberty Common at home on Saturday. Resurrection Christian on the road on Tuesday. A doubleheader against Eagle Ridge Academy at home on Thursday. At Ken Denver on the 10th, which is Friday. And then a game at home against Strasburg, a league game on that Saturday at 11 a.m. to finish up the regular season for the Beat Diggers. Big shout out to Brett back at the studio, our engineer and producer, for helping out with today's show. And thanks for you for spending your Thursday afternoon with us for a little Tiger Beat Digger showdown. The Tigers defeating Brush 5-0, holding Brush to just 2 hits. I'm Bull Brom. This has been Tiger Baseball on 105.7 KPMX and 1010 KSIR.